Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
Chief Minister Ishanki Singh had requested the centre not to withdraw security forces from Manipur for election duty in Jammu and Kashmir. Now that the elections of Jammu and Kashmir have been postponed, there is no reason for the security personnel to leave Manipur. But the question remains, for how long will they stay in the state? Agenda discusses the rationale for the long continued presence of the security forces in the state.
The plea of the Manipur Chief Minister, Rishanke not to withdraw the security forces from the state for election duty in Jammu and Kashmir has once again brought into focus the insurgency situation here.
The state government has not sufficient force, and our forces want mobility and firepower, which the extremist insurgents, they have plenty of firepower, most sophisticated arms, of course, and their movement is very quick, and this can be, state police alone can't tackle with this problem. That's why we have to take the help of the paramilitary forces and security forces.
Well, this is a matter of opinion. Even Shaikiaji, he is also demanding more security forces in Assam. Where there are insurgencies, every chief minister always demanded more security forces. But security forces is a mere part of the whole game. See, what have we done for the containment of this rising tide of insurgencies in the hills?
The insurgency situation in Manipur seems to be grim, as the confusion in different quarters, especially among the people and the state administration, is growing. On the one hand, the recent army operation Sunny Vale received strong protests from the public, while on the other, some segments of society welcomed it warmly.
कोई ने वो नहीं किया आर्मी वापस जाने के लिए कोई डील नहीं किया
नहीं आपको क्या लगता है आर्मी चले जाने से अच्छा
आर्मी तो अपना भगवान है
आर्मी आपका भगवान
हाँ
क्यों
आर्मी इधर आके हम लोग पीस मिला ना अभी खाना मिलता है खेती बाड़ी बनाता है घर बनाता है घर भी सब तोड़ के हम लोग भाग गया
क्यों किस लिए तोड़ के भाग गए
टेंशन से जी
और अभी आर्मी चले जाएगा तो क्या होगा
एक ही होगा आर्मी छोड़ने से हम लोग फिर तकलीफ होगा
लेकिन आर्मी तो बहुत सारे आदमी को मार दिया बोलता है
कौन मारा है
आर्मी मारा बोलता है नहीं मारा ये सच नहीं है
सच नहीं है
सच क्या है
सच तो आर्मी में इधर में कोई भी नहीं मारा है
आर्मी नहीं मारा वो कौन मारा
नागा भी नहीं मारा कुकी भी नहीं मारा है
We need them for our protection. Before they came, especially these 22 Assam rifles, before they came here, there were many lootings, many abductions, many killings, especially on the National Highway 39. But since their arrival here, all these have been controlled. And so we want them and we need them to remain here.
One can't close his eyes to the realities that exist in our state, in this state of Manipur. The reality is that insurgency does exist. You will agree with me? Insurgency does exist. Why are you bothered about the degree and the level or the intensity of insurgency? The problem does exist. And once we know that the problem exists, there is a need to solve it. That is how I look at the issue. Now, how do you solve this issue is the big question.
It is up to you. It is up to me. It is up to the government. It's up to the military. It's up to the CPO, the paramilitary forces. It is up to the non-government organization. And finally, it is up to the people. It is a combined effort. If we all put in our combined effort, the problem, small or big, will get solved.
However, the intricacies of the issue seem to be related to the program for the economic development of the hilly regions. So far, there is no clear-cut action program before the people. Army exercises by now have become a routine feature of the day-to-day life here. But how long can the army, as well as the government, keep on carrying out these prodigal exercises?
Insurgency is not a law and order alone. What I can do is only some kind of checking the unlawful activities. Then the other political solution and others, it has to be found out by, I leave it to a center to find out that solution.
What these people are demanding is a political right. So if this political right is negotiated, if there is a table talk, I think it may be solved very easily.
Improve the situation. So, therefore, army's presence may be required in the hills, but even in the hills there are so many complaints that human rights violations are there. Therefore, for the moment, in order to protect life and security and harassment of the people by this underground movement, we may require it, but under general law.
Now you'll agree that all development has an indirect effect on fighting insurgency. Insurgency thrives only in underdeveloped areas. So development indirectly helps in fighting insurgency. That's how we look at the whole problem.
The students' organizations picked up this issue of the army exercises to carry out their protest against the political systems. They're all set to form a third cohesive force, hitting out at the insurgents, the government, and the security forces. As usual, without any mass action programs for socio-economic development of their own, these students in the process create inroads to widen the gap between the governments, the army, and the common man. The overall situation is such that no easy and amicable solutions can be found. Our armed forces are much more democratic in approach than any other force in the world and always give priority to the social values and morals. But the question remains, how long can this state of affairs continue? For the accelerated development of the region and the percolation of economic benefits to the masses, the insurgency has to be brought to an end.
On the 8th of this month, a foundation stone was laid for a new railway division at Rangia in Assam. Apart from providing job opportunities, it is also expected to speed up development of the region.
On the 8th of November, the Union Minister of State for Railways, Suresh Kalmadi, laid the foundation stone of the railway division at Rangia in Assam. He announced on the occasion that Rangia would also have a new railway station. A sum of 15 crore rupees would be released soon for setting up of a new division, and another 1 crore would be given for the construction of a new station with computerized reservation facilities.
By March end or by end of next year, the entire activities south of the Brahmaputra would have been almost completed. And then in the next plan, we go for the north of the Brahmaputra. Luckily, we have been able to get the financial 5-year tax holiday for bold schemes. So now I'm going to see how we can apply the bold scheme for the Northeast. If we can do it, the acceleration will be much faster.
The minister also said that the state government has allotted 40 acres of land for the setting up of the new division and expressed the hope that the new division would go a long way in the development of the region. This would also create job opportunities for the local youths, he added. Apart from this, there are other plans on the anvil. The construction of the railway workshop at Dibrugarh would begin by the end of this month.
That was the very old and pending demand for the people of Assam, particularly for the people of Rangia.
I hope we will be able to get it.
When Sanghi Realty, A Mizo girl first reported to the duty officer of the All India Radio that she was a Hindi announcer. He took it with a pinch of salt. But now, hers is a familiar voice at the External Services Division of the All India Radio. Recently, she also read the news in Hindi on the national network of Doordarshan. Northeast File talks to Sangi Ralti.
I had to come here alone, first thing. And then it's a new place, big city. I didn't know anyone here. And my parents could visualize a lot of problems for a single lady to go and, get started with the work. But anyway, I thought that maybe it's God's will that I got this job, and why should I back out? If you're getting a job, it's a challenge, So I thought, let me try. If I can make it, if others can make it, why can't I? So I just packed my things and I came. And then, yes, initially I had problems because people were not very much ready to accept me as Hindi announcer, They always had doubts. It's one of my dream to be on air, like an announcer. So I just applied, and it's maybe it's God's will, I think, because everything went off so smoothly. I never expected, because that was the first time I ever entered a radio station. The day my audition was there, and it went off smoothly, and I was selected, and I was quite surprised. It was for Hindi announcer, Northeastern Service. So that was in 1989. I joined there, 1st April. All the dates. And then, of course, I was very new. I didn't know anything about announcements, how to control voice or how to present a program, so that people listen to you. And slowly I learned how to announce and all. And I think people started liking also. Many times it happened that when I was in the studios in the External Services Division, so in between, the newsreader comes and read the news directly, when we are there. So, they used to peep in, and then, they just go out. Then again they come back. Then they said, excuse me, is it Hindi service? Because seeing me there, they thought that it's some Chinese unit or maybe Thai unit or something. And they said, oh, it used to be this studio, and then suddenly someone else is coming here. Maybe we have come to the wrong studio. In radio, when we are in the studio, we are everything, and we feel free to do anything, any way we like, like, of course, according to the program. So, but here, you're a bit bound, you have to see, now they are going to show the visuals, so you have to be ready with that, and you should not look tense, and your eyes also should not, flick here and there. So these are the things you have to keep in mind. And then they say, I have not experienced, I'm just too bulletin also. I have not experienced the other problems that might come, like the last minute news and all. You are not prepared for that. Suddenly a news comes and then you have to read it out like that. So they said that you have to be prepared for that. So it's a long way, and I just hope maybe soon I'll come in the prime time. Translation part is, I used to find it so boring. You know why I took this job? Because the pay scale was better, and plus I still had the chance to announce. I love announcements. I just can't, if they say, if I'm giving less transmissions, I feel very down. I want to do more of transmissions. And now, of course, with time, and this translation work is also quite interesting, because in this External Services Division, we touch varied subjects, like it's world news in a way, because it's for the world. So it's very good for your general knowledge. So that way, I found it very interesting.
Situated 650 meters above sea level, overlooking the Brahmaputra, a rock climber's delight, a hiker's paradise, and an ideal retreat for those looking for everlasting peace and tranquility is Tura, our destination this week.
Tura, the largest town in the Garo Hills region of Meghalaya, was earlier a district of the erstwhile British India. Situated at a height of about 650 meters, Tura is surrounded by lush green hills overlooking the Brahmaputra Valley. The town was originally named Dura after Durama Imbama, the youngest of the three most powerful goddesses believed to have lived here. Tura is the corrupt form of Dura, which was introduced by the Britishers. The town of Tura has well-maintained roads and neat houses. Just 2 kilometers from Tura is the Gandrakcharya Fall. The crowning glory of Tura is the Tura Peak. It stands at the eastern flank, soaring above the town. The height of Tura Peak is approximately 870 meters. Tura Hills and the peak are the main attractions of the town. The entire area is now declared a reserve forest. These lush forests also have cinchona plantation. From Tura Peak, one can see the Nokrek Peak, which is the site for the National Citrus Gene Sanctuary Biosphere Reserve. The sheer beauty of the Tura Peak is breathtaking. Sunrise and sunset here is indeed a freshening and classic experience. At night, the town with its flickering lights mirrors the sky above. Every visitor to Tura takes back with him the memories of natural beauty, peace and tranquility.
Tura, road link. Tura is 323 kilometers from Guwahati. Rail. Nearest railhead is Guwahati. Air. Nearest airport is also Guwahati. Hotels. A tourist bungalow and a tourist lodge is available in Tura.